Damon. The guests were already arriving, but there was still no sign of Clarissa. I kept looking at the door, hoping to see her, but disappointment kept on hitting me when I saw everyone except her. I knew I didn't leave things on good terms between us. I couldn't sleep last night. She was all I could think about. Getting engaged to Anya hadn't even crossed my mind once. Clarissa had taken over my thoughts, and I knew it would be that way for a long, long time. Nothing could erase her from my mind, not even myself. I couldn't get her words out of my head. She thought that I had no feelings for her. She thought that I wanted to be with Anya and not her. She doesn't realize how wrong she is. I wanted to correct her. I wanted to tell her the truth, but I knew that if I did, she wouldn't stop trying to change things between us. I had to let her believe it if I wanted her to forget about us being a possibility. It still bothered me that I had to hurt her in order to keep her safe. Clarissa hasn't been thrown into our world the way that my family has been in the past. She doesn't understand how hostile the world was when they got an opportunity to bring an influential family like ours to the ground. I didn't want her to take the fall for the rest of us. "You should be happy," Atticus says as he joins my side. "But you look anything but that. It's your engagement party to Anya. At one point in your life, you wanted this more than anything else. There was a point where both Dante and I wished that we were in your position today. Of course, that's before I realized my true feelings for Autumn." I sigh. "You always know how to read me like an open book. I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm confused by my feelings." He chuckles. "Are you sure this is what you want, Damon? I know we've had our differences, but I would hate to see you go down the wrong path." I inhale sharply at his question. This wasn't about me or what I wanted. This was about protecting Clarissa from what she thought she wanted. I didn't care what I had to do, as long as I knew she would be safe from any harm, whether it be physical or emotional. "I know this is what I must do," I answer him truthfully. "I have to do this." He raises one brow at me. "Ah," he whispers, "this is what you must do." "Tell me again, why do you think this is what you have to do?" I knew he would read between the lines. I knew that he would understand that this wedding wasn't happening because I wanted it to happen, but for a completely different reason. That was one answer that I couldn't give him. I couldn't explain it without telling him everything that had happened between Clarissa and me in the past couple of days. I couldn't explain to him what I meant without telling him that I had feelings for someone that he considered his sister, something that I was also supposed to do. Anya walks into the room then, and there are gasps throughout it as everyone sees her dress. Judging by the thrilled look on her face, she was overjoyed by their reactions. Anya always loved being the center of attention. She loved to be the best dressed and have the nicest jewels amongst those around her. The opposite of Clarissa. While Anya loved attention, Clarissa would feel uncomfortable under all the stares. What was I doing? Why the hell was I even comparing the two of them? They were two completely different women. Both were amazing in their own ways. "Have you seen Clarissa?" I ask him. I needed an answer before Anya came any closer to us. If she heard me asking about Clarissa, she would become angry, and I didn't want to ruin her night due to my own problems. I'd already done plenty to hurt her feelings, and I promised her to try not to do anything to betray her again. Anya never found out who the girl was that I had feelings for. If she realized how crazy I acted for Clarissa, it would be a clear indication, and I didn't want that to happen. If it did, it would cause more problems for all three of us. Autumn left a few minutes ago to bring her out of her room. He informs me. As you already know, Clarissa, just like Dante, is not reacting well to this engagement party. I'm afraid we may not be able to persuade her to join the rest of us. Dante was also not here. He'd chosen to skip the party, and I wasn't about to force him to watch something like this. I shouldn't force Clarissa either. If this were something that would hurt her, it would be better that she wasn't around to see it. Though, I just wished that I could see her just once. I wanted to gaze at her as much as possible before I placed a ring on Anya's finger. My selfish heart wanted to see her as much as she would let me. "I can't find her," a familiar voice says. I spun around to see Autumn behind us. She was talking about Clarissa, no doubt. But why couldn't she find her? Wasn't she supposed to be in her room? What do you mean you can't find her? I demand. Where's Clarissa? I've looked everywhere for her, she informs me. Her dress isn't in the room, which means that she did get dressed to attend the party. However, she isn't here. I've searched the entire mansion. Clarissa is not here. I can hear the panic in her voice. Suddenly I felt dizzy. Everything in the room was beginning to spin. I couldn't think properly now that I knew Clarissa was not in the mansion. I knew what she was like. I knew what she was capable of doing when she was hurt. Fuck. I should have expected this from her. I should have known that she would have done something like this. I should have asked the guards to keep an eye on her, to prevent her from leaving and doing something reckless. I loosened my tie and examined all the faces in the room that were visible to me. I was still hoping that she was somewhere in the crowd, even though I already knew she wasn't there. I would know. After all, I was searching all of the faces earlier looking for her. She wasn't here. Where the fuck was she then? Where did she run off to? Continue to search inside, I order them. I will ask the guards if they saw anything that could help us find her. If she isn't in the mansion, it only means she's left. She isn't home. I had to hope that for once, Clarissa didn't do anything crazy that could put her life in danger. Anya spots me walking through the crowd, and she immediately pushes her way toward me. She thinks that I'm coming for her, but she doesn't realize that I am trying to leave the party. Her eyes widen when I try to go around her. She grabs my arm to stop me from going any further. I couldn't deal with this right now. I had to get to Clarissa. The engagement party could wait. She was more important than this. Where are you going? Anya demands. It's almost time for the announcement. Everyone is waiting for us. You can't leave now. We can't find Clarissa, I inform her. There was no point in lying to her. She had to know the truth. I have to find her. This party can't happen unless I know that she's okay. She looks horrified by my words. Damn it. I hated that look on her face, but there was nothing that I could do about it. I was becoming impatient, and I knew if I didn't find Clarissa within the next hour, I would lose my mind. What do you mean you can't find her? She demands as her eyes narrow. Are you sure she isn't just doing this to mess with us? You know just as much as I do that Clarissa does not want us to get married. She dislikes me. She has always hated me, even though I've been nothing but nice to her. It's unfair, Damon. It's unfair that you always pick her side over mine. Why are you letting her ruin this beautiful night for us? If you walk out of here, people are going to talk. They're going to laugh at me. Please, for once, think about me and not Clarissa. I shoved my hands into my pocket and rocked back and forth in my shoes. She didn't know Clarissa as I did. While Clarissa didn't want to attend this party, I was sure she wasn't intentionally trying to sabotage this night for us. It was all just too much for her, and she may have acted on her emotions. Whatever the case may be, I had to find her. Please, Anya, please try to understand. I have to find her. I plead with her. She had to understand. She had to. I can't believe you're doing this out of all the nights. Tonight is the night you choose to walk out of here to look for someone that may or may not be in danger. She snaps. In case you haven't realized, Damon, she is your sister, not your freaking wife. Everyone here can look for her. Why do you need to do it? I'm sorry. That's all I say as I storm out of the house. I couldn't listen to Anya's words any longer. I was losing time. Something in my heart tells me that she's in danger. I could feel it pounding in my chest, begging me to protect her, to keep her safe. Where the hell are you, Clarissa? The guards look up as soon as they see me approaching them. Did Clarissa leave the mansion earlier? I ask Kyle. He nods. She left over an hour ago. Damn it. Did you happen to see where she went? I demand. Did she take a vehicle with her? No. He shook his head. She didn't need to take a vehicle. She went straight into the woods. And you didn't think to report this to me? I demand roughly. I'm sorry. He stutters. I didn't know I had to report this to you or anyone else. I was not informed of this before. Why did she go back into those woods after what happened the last time she was in there? I didn't think Clarissa would take such a crazy risk again. Why didn't she tell anyone? If she didn't want to tell me, she could have at least said something to Autumn. I was losing my damn mind. How far in the forest did she wander off to? How long would it take me to find her? Something in the air catches my attention before I can take a step forward toward the woods. I frown. It didn't take me long to figure out what it was. It's smoke. I can smell it also. Is there a fire somewhere? I ask as I look around us. The guards shrug their shoulders. The music from inside was blasting loudly, and it was hard to hear them above the noise. Did they turn the music up louder in the past few seconds? It was probably my brothers trying to distract the crowd from my disappearance. They're pointing to something behind me. I follow their gazes, and when I see what they're pointing at, my body stops moving, rooted to the ground. There was indeed a fire, but it wasn't in the house. It was deep in the woods, where Clarissa was. Oh, Anya. I couldn't believe that this was happening on my engagement night. Everything was going as planned until a few minutes ago. Somehow Clarissa had found a way to make this night about her. The bloody girl always knew how to destroy my life with her tricks. She wasn't as innocent as everyone wanted me to believe. She was anything but innocent. She was an evil, manipulative. Just when I was getting things to go my way, she destroyed them for me. I should have seen this coming. I should have been prepared. I wanted to see the pain on her face today when Damon announced our engagement in front of everyone. Yet the stupid girl had chosen to be a coward. She ran before anything could happen, instead of staying as she should have. What's happening? Dante asks as he joins my side. He wasn't here earlier. When did he arrive? I thought you weren't attending the party, I ask him, pretending to care. He stiffens. I didn't want to, but I thought I should at least be there for you and Damon. It may not be a happy occasion for me, but it is one for the both of you. I nod. Thank you, Dante. I'm happy that you came, but right now everything is a mess and I'm losing my mind. He frowns. Where is Damon? I bite my lip in frustration. He left, I mumble angrily. His eyes narrow. He left you? Alone? On your engagement night? Don't let her manipulate you, Griffin says behind us. Clarissa is missing. We're all looking for her, including Damon. I narrowed my eyes. Griffin was constantly pushing my buttons. I disliked him just as much as I hated Clarissa. Why was he even listening to our conversation? It had nothing to do with him. Clarissa is missing? He asks Griffin. Where was the last place you saw her? She was supposed to be in her room, he explains to him. But it turns out that she isn't even at home. Damon went to look for her, but we have no idea where he went either. He disappeared just like she did. Maybe she's in the woods, Dante suggests. She did that the last time we couldn't find her. Would she take a risk like that after what happened recently? Griffin asks. I don't want to believe she'd do something like that. Oh, trust me, I say. She is capable of doing something that stupid. I'm sure all of you are worrying for no reason. She will be back soon. I'm more worried about Damon. What would all of these people think if he didn't return soon? It would look like he left me. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world now, would it? Griffin asks me. There's no time for this, Dante growls. The sooner we find Damon and Clarissa, the sooner everything can move forward. He was right. As much as I wanted to forget about Clarissa tonight, I knew that they had to find her for this engagement to happen still. If I wanted it to happen tonight, I'd have no choice but to help them find her. The forest was probably a good place to start searching for her. If she wasn't here and if no vehicles were missing, then she had to have left on foot. We needed to speak to the guards. We should search the woods, I tell Dante. We can go together. Everyone else could wait here and keep looking for her. I wanted time alone with Dante. I still wanted him under my control. Even though I was marrying Damon, I wanted Dante to be under my spell. I loved having both of them do anything for me. Unlike Damon, Dante still listened to every word that I spoke to him. He always did everything I asked him to do for me. I didn't want to lose that. Let's go, Dante tells me, and I quickly leave. It was better than staying here and having everyone feel sorry for me. I knew what they were all thinking. They thought that Damon was having second thoughts about the entire thing. They didn't realize that this was all because of that stupid girl. Her family refused to tell the guests what was happening. They protected her like they always did. Everyone always had to clean up after Clarissa's mess. She did things without thinking, and everyone else was left to pick up the pieces for her. Just as we were leaving, I spotted someone I shouldn't have. I freeze. Dante notices that I've stopped, and he immediately walks over to me. "What's wrong?" he asks. "Willow, what was she doing here? Why was my sister here? Did she follow me here? As far as I knew, she never left our home. I've always told her to stay there, that it was unsafe to leave the house. Then why the hell was she here? And how long has she been disobeying me?" Her eyes fell on me, and her face brightened when she saw me. "Oh no." "Anya?" Dante tries once more to speak to me. "Anya!" Willow shouts my name. "Oh no, 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 no." Dante can't know that she's my sister. His gaze moves from me to her, and my heart freezes at what I see next. No, it can't be. I watched as Willow's eyes widened the moment her eyes fell on Dante. Her mouth forms a small O, and her cheeks are red. She likes him. My sister likes Dante. This is not good. She just met him. She hadn't even spoken a word to him. I had to get her out of here before she did something stupid. I was so focused on her that I hadn't realized that Dante was frozen beside me as he gazed at her. "Please tell me this is a nightmare. Please tell me that I will wake up and this will all be just a dream." "How does she know your name?" he asks me. "Who is she? I've never seen her around before." "She's a friend I invited to the party." I lie. "She isn't dressed for an engagement party." Dante points out as he gazes at her jeans. I press my lips tightly together. "She isn't rich like you, Dante, and this is all that she could afford." Before he can say anything else, I cut him off. "I need to tell her what's happening. Can you wait for me?" He initially looks hesitant to leave us, but he eventually listens to me like he usually does. I grab Willow's arm when he leaves and pull her as far away from the house as possible. I needed to ensure that no one was looking at us. "What the hell are you doing here?" I demand from her. "You shouldn't be here." She looks down at her feet as I scold her. "I'm sorry." She apologizes. "I told you before that it gets lonely now that Mother isn't home with us. I miss her. And when you aren't home, I have no one to speak to. It's hard, sister. I just wanted to spend some time with you, to meet your friends. I have none." I sigh and lift my hands into the air. "I told you it's dangerous. I told you that when it was safe, I would introduce you to everyone." "That's partly why I came also," she informs me. "I saw a strange man snooping around the house earlier. He ran when he realized that someone was still at home." I stopped moving at her words. Someone was at our house while she was home alone? Who the hell could that be? If the person ran when they realized someone was home, it only meant that it was an enemy, someone that was trying to get information on me. This wasn't good. This wasn't good at all. "Are you upset with me?" Willow asks unhappily. "Of course not," I assure her. "I'm proud of you for finding me and being brave. You did the right thing by coming to find me after you saw that man. I need you to give me a description of him when we get home. I need to find out who he was and why he was there." She nods and looks behind me. "Is there a party inside?" "Yes, but you can't stay here," I tell her. "I'll have someone come and pick you up. You will be safe with them. Trust me." She nods. "Will it be that man you were just with earlier?" My back stiffens at her question. "No, it will not be him. I have somewhere that I need to be with him right now." She looks disappointed by my words, which bothers me more than it should. I knew it was likely just a crush. It was understandable since Dante was a good-looking man. However, I didn't like the idea of my sister liking him, even if it was just a harmless crush. "If anyone asks who you are, tell them that you're my friend, okay?" She frowns. "But I'm your sister." I nod. "I know, but these people don't need to know that." Her forehead creases. "Are you ashamed of me? Is it because of the way I'm dressed? I don't have on a pretty dress as you do." "Of course not, Willow," I tell her. "I could never be ashamed of you. One day you will understand why I asked you to do this for me. But please, I don't have time to explain this to you." She sighs. "I guess I can do that. I don't like to lie, but if you ask me to, I will." I smile. "Thank you, Willow. I'll wait with you until my friend shows up to pick you up. If only they could get here quickly before Dante returns. It could get worse if Griffin or the others come here and see her. They won't be as understanding as Dante was. I'm sure that they wouldn't believe a word that I said. I had to get Willow out of this place as quickly as possible. "Clarissa!" I stepped forward, but the fire taunted me by moving closer to me in return. It was coming towards me, closing in. If I tried to move again, it would only move closer to me. It's almost like it was trying to reach me, to tell me something. I had to be losing my mind. Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe if I closed my eyes and pretended that I was asleep, all of this would go away. The heat was becoming unbearable. It was enough to remind me that it was not a dream like I was hoping it to be. Was this how my life was going to end? From a fire? A fire that I had no idea where it came from. There were no signs of a fire when I came here the first time, just whispers that I initially thought were something made up in my mind. Now I knew there was a possibility that I was wrong. Someone must have intentionally done this. The whispers in my head had forced me to stop, and while I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings, they'd set a fire around me. But still, I would have heard something. Unless witches were involved. They would have been able to start a fire very quickly. My head spun as I tried to figure out what had just happened, while also trying to find a way to escape this fire. Clarissa! I hear a familiar voice shouting my name. My heart paused for a second. Clarissa! My heart skips a beat this time. I couldn't believe it. He was here. Where are you? I can't stop the smile from forming in my lips despite the fire still blazing around me. Damon, he'd come for me. Even though his engagement party was today, he still came for me. Of course he would. He has always protected me in the past. He was always the one to save me from everyone, including myself. I'm here, I shout, making it easier for him to find me. How did he know to follow the fire? He was probably used to trouble following me wherever I went. Anywhere danger was present. Somehow, I was also there. I breathed a sigh of relief when I could finally see him, not just hear his voice. His eyes widen when he spots me in the middle of the fire. I could barely get a good view of him because of the flames, and it bothered me. Wait there, he orders me. I'm coming to you. No, I shout. Don't come here. There are flames everywhere. We can find another way to get me out of here. Get Autumn. I'm sure she can find a way to get rid of these flames. I believe witches are the ones who did this. If I'm right, Autumn is the right one to help me. If I had listened to Autumn before, none of this would have happened to begin with. I knew I should have told her what I was about to do. She would have been able to talk me out of this stupid idea. Now I was in this mess and didn't know how to get out of it. Witches, he growls. What the f do witches want with our family again? Get Autumn, I say once more. No, he roars above the fire. I'm not leaving you here. We don't have much time to get you out of there. I need to move you now. I should have known he wouldn't listen to me. Before I can say anything else, Damon jumps into the fire. I scream the moment the fire touches his skin. Damon doesn't even flinch from the pain. He's so focused on protecting me that he doesn't care that he'd just been injured. I gasped when he grabbed my waist and held my body tightly against his. He buried his face in my hair as he held me close. I'm so glad you're safe, he whispers against my ear. I slowly reach up to wrap my arms around his neck. It felt so good to be in his arms, where I belonged. The danger was not over, however. We still had to get out of here before it was too late. I pull away from Damon to examine the wounds on his body. This could have been avoided. Why did you do that? I demand. You could have gotten seriously hurt. Do you think I care about that? He asks me. Do you think anything matters to me when your life is in danger? You should know me better than that by now, Clarissa. Nothing will ever stand in the way of me protecting you. My lips part, and I can't help but melt at his words. Why does he always do this? Doesn't he realize by now that it's words like those that make me fall so quickly for him? I was trying to let go of him so he could be with Anya, but how could I do that when he said things like this to me? I slowly touched one of the red marks on his arm, and he winced. We don't have time for this, Clarissa. He reminds me as he removes his partly burnt suit jacket and covers my body with it. We need to jump. Are you insane? I demand. The fire is much worse than before, and look at how many bruises you have because of it already. I won't let you hurt yourself again because of me. We don't have a choice, do we? He demands. If you had listened to me before, we would have had a choice. Autumn would have easily gotten rid of the fire, I point out. If I had listened to you by the time Autumn had reached you, the fire would have already gotten to you by then. he growls. At least you wouldn't have been in danger, I mumble. Fuck, he hissed. Are you listening to yourself? As a matter of fact, I am. I snap. Now we're both stuck in the fire. Why are you even here when your engagement party is happening now? He grabs my face in his hand and forces me to look into his eyes. Does this look like the right time to be speaking about any of that, Clarissa? I narrow my eyes. You shouldn't be here. You should be back at the party with the woman you chose to be your wife. I don't care what is happening around me, Clarissa. I don't care about anything else as much as I care about your safety. He growls. As long as you're in danger, I will forget about everything else. Fuck it all. Nothing else matters when you need me. My lips part and my heart does this little annoying flip-flop. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't fall for his words. Don't become weak. It's already too late. The fire and emptiness in my heart were already disappearing because of his words. I don't hear anything, Damon whispers as he looks around us. He pauses and his eyes go wide. The fire, where the hell did it go? I slowly followed his gaze. I couldn't believe my eyes. Something was definitely wrong here. He was right. The fire was gone. What the hell just happened? Clarissa. Something is wrong, I whisper. The fire should still be surrounding us. How was this even possible? I was happy it was gone, but it didn't change the fact that nothing made sense. It was here just a minute ago. 1 minute Damon and I were trying to find a way to escape, and the next, we had nothing to escape from. We should get out of here immediately, Damon says as he examines our surroundings. There wasn't any visible danger, but that didn't mean we were safe. Whatever caused that fire is still around. They're messing with us. I don't know what they have planned, but we must return to the others. They need to know that we may or may not have another unknown enemy. Right. Back to the engagement. As soon as we returned, the party would continue as though it had never stopped. I was sure Anya was making a scene back home since Damon had left to find me during their engagement ceremony. She would be pissed, no doubt. Damon didn't seem to be bothered about her. He was too busy being frustrated over the decisions I've been making lately. I don't want to be there, I whisper. I did not want to go back. Not tonight. Not while that party was still ongoing. Damon paused his movements so that he could look back at me. What? He asks. I can feel the tension in the air between us increase. I don't want to be at that party, Damon, I say. It's why I came into the woods, to begin with. I don't want to go back there. I'll do anything not to have to witness that ceremony. He runs a hand down his face and sighs. Clarissa, you don't expect to remain here after what just happened, do you? And you're crazy if you think I'll leave you here just because you asked me to. No, I mumble, but I'm not going back there either. Damon looks unhappy with me, or maybe he's upset with our situation. I'm not sure which of those has him angry right now. Judging by the glare he gives me next, it's safe to say that I'm the one he's upset with. But according to him, I'm never the one he's angry with. But it's possible that he has changed his mind after today. Do you know what could have happened to you if Autumn didn't tell us that she couldn't find you anywhere? He demands. Do you understand the danger you put your life in? I press my lips tightly together and glare at him. I'm aware of what I did, but it doesn't mean I'm proud of my actions. Doesn't he realize how painful it would be for me to watch him get engaged to Anya? Why do you always do things that endanger your life? He demands. Why don't you realize by now that every time something happens to you, my whole world turns upside down? My lips part. Why did he have to say that to me? Why? Why do you always do that? I demand, answering his question with one of my own. He frowns. Do what? I can still hear the irritation in his voice. He's still angry with me for putting my life in danger yet again. Doesn't he realize by now that I only put my life in danger when it concerns him? If he gave me what I wanted, I wouldn't have to resort to doing these crazy things to get away from my own emotions. You always say things like this, I snap. Things like what? He demands. How can he be this clueless? You always say things that no one else would, I explain. Dante, Atticus, and Griffin would never tell me that my careless actions turn their whole worlds upside down. They would never get so worked up over my disappearance as you do. You have always protected me more than they have done. I know they care about me also, but it's different with you. I can sense the difference. I can feel it in my heart. Yet, you keep denying everything. You expect me to forget my feelings when you keep being this protective over me. You expect me to throw everything away when your words make my heart skip a beat every damn time. Don't you realize by now that your words and actions are why I'm the way I am today? His eyes widen at my words. It's weird, but I don't think Damon has even realized what he's been doing all along. I don't think he's ever considered that he was partly the reason for this. My words had just opened his eyes. I didn't want him to stop doing the things that I loved. I didn't want him to change his behavior towards me now that he understood what it was doing to me. I didn't want to regret saying this to him either. Clarissa, he whispers as he steps closer to me. I didn't want another apology from him. I was tired of his apologies. I wanted him to fight for me instead of saying there was no chance for us. I wanted him to tell me he wanted me just as desperately as I needed him. There were so many things that I dreamed of, and all of them included Damon. Don't. I stop him as he stops a few inches away from my body. Don't apologize. I'm tired of your apologies, Damon. I don't want to listen to another one from you. How can I fix any of this when you don't even accept my apology? He whispers. I can hear the pain in his voice, and it tugs at my heart. Why does every word out of his mouth affect me this much? I wish things were different, Clarissa, he confesses. I do. I wish my parents hadn't adopted you. I wish I had met you under different circumstances. However, if they hadn't adopted you, I may have never met you. I may have never gotten the chance to protect you the way that I love doing. In a way, I'm glad that they did. I'm glad that I got the chance to have you close to me. I have mixed emotions about the entire thing. It's crazy, but I don't think my life would have been the same without you in it. My lips part. I couldn't believe those words were coming from Damon's mouth. What did this mean? Was this the closest thing to a confession I would ever get from him? I kept receiving mixed signals from Damon. One minute, it felt like he wanted Anya and only her. The next, it felt like I was the one that he wanted. And maybe I felt this way because Damon himself had no idea what he wanted. He was torn between the both of us. If I didn't share the same last name as yours, if we had met under different circumstances, just two strangers who happened to like each other, would you have chosen to be with me then? Would you have given me everything that I want now? I asked him desperately. I wanted to hear his response to that question. I needed to listen to him tell me yes. His eyes searched mine, and my heart was racing in my chest, unable to keep up with my emotions. Please, Damon, I beg. Tell me that we would have had a chance. Tell me what I want to hear for once. What's wrong with me? It's not like his answer would change our situation now. What difference would it make? Why did I need to hear it from his mouth? His face looks like he's in pain as he seems to have an inner battle within himself. Clarissa, he doesn't get to finish. He doesn't get to answer me because we hear footsteps and someone calling his name. No, no, no. Why was she here? Why did she come to ruin this moment for us? Damon? Anya screams once more when she doesn't get a response. Damon looks like he wants to apologize yet again. He doesn't take his eyes away from me. He's searching my face for something. I hear Dante's voice next. They're growing closer to us. Answer me, please. Would it change anything now, Clarissa? He asks me gently. There's no use in me answering something that will never happen. It may not change anything now, but it means something to me, I tell him. Just knowing there was ever a possibility for us would mean everything to me, Damon. Everything to me. His eyes grow softer at my words, and I can tell it's affected him significantly. Damon! Anya shouts when she sees us. He breaks eye contact with me to look at her and Dante. I don't turn to them. I'm still gazing at Damon. I'm still waiting for his answer. What happened here? Dante asks as he looks around us. Damon attempts to walk over to them, but I grab his arm. He looks back at me, knowing what I'm asking for. He knows that I'm still waiting for him to say the one thing that I want to hear. His gaze lingers on my hand on his arm for a few seconds before he lifts his eyes to look directly into mine. He swallows before he says, yes. It's just one word. Just one word. But it makes my heart scream with joy. This means that he did want me. This means that I was right all along. I wasn't crazy for thinking Damon wanted me as well. It also meant that he was only marrying Anya to push me away. He didn't want her in the way I thought in the past. Damon was marrying her to protect me. He wanted to protect me from everyone else and their reactions if they ever found out about my feelings for him. Autumn was right all along. This time, I had no doubts. This time, I knew I was not hallucinating. After today, I would never believe anything he said to me that claimed the opposite. I wouldn't let him trick me into believing that Anya was the one he wanted. I knew now that I was doing the right thing before by fighting for us. Now I had to persuade Damon to do the same. I had to show him that there was always a chance when two people were right for each other. And we were definitely right for each other. He couldn't tell me otherwise. I couldn't believe this. My heart has never been this happy. Damon wanted me. He wanted me. Damon. I couldn't resist telling her the truth. I couldn't resist giving her what she wanted to hear for once. I knew it wouldn't change a single thing between us, and I was aware that it might only make things worse. However, I couldn't say no to her today, not after almost losing her. My heart still raced from seeing her surrounded by those flames. I was terrified of losing Clarissa. I always knew there was a great chance that she was my weakness, but now I was 100% sure that she was. No one terrified me the way that she did. I've never wanted to protect anyone the way I've always wanted to protect her. I would never be able to live with myself if anything ever happened to her. It bothers me that something terrible could have happened to her today, and I wouldn't have known anything until it was too late. If Autumn hadn't gone into her room before the engagement ceremony, I could have lost her, and I would have never been able to forgive myself. I couldn't let something like that happen again. I knew I was the one to push her into doing something so careless. I was the one that hurt her feelings and made her act out. I couldn't make that mistake again. I had to be very careful with my words and actions around Clarissa. I had to protect her from everything, including herself. I knew now that I also had to protect her from my selfish actions. I knew it would cause me more trouble in the future, but from now on, I had to pay closer attention to her. I had to ensure she wasn't plotting anything dangerous that could harm her. From now on, I will keep a close watch on her. Nothing and no one would stop me from doing what I had to in order to keep her safe. I would do anything for Clarissa. Anything. Anything except what she was asking from me. That was the only thing I couldn't give to her. Everything else I would go to the end of the earth to get for her. Damon? Anya calls once more. Clarissa slowly lets go of my arm, and I turn towards Dante. When I arrived, Clarissa was surrounded by fire, I explained to them. I didn't know how to explain what happened, however. Even I was still trying to come to terms with it. Surrounded by fire? He demands. How did she end up in that situation? I shrug my shoulders. I think we may be under attack like the last time, and by witches once again. Anya stiffens at my words. Witches? She asks cautiously. Why do you think that? Clarissa believes witches were responsible for the fire, and I agree. The fire disappeared while I was trying to get her out of it. Only a witch would be capable of playing tricks like that. There was no water, nothing at all to make that fire disappear as it did. This is not good, Dante growls. Not good at all. We need to get back to our parents. We have to tell them what's happening. We can't let our guards down again. We almost lost so much the last time that we did. We need to be prepared for anything. Before we go, Anya mumbles as she turns towards Clarissa. Why the hell did you come here during our engagement party? The entire thing is ruined because of you. All of the guests are already leaving. My special night is ruined because of your carelessness, Clarissa. I stiffen at her tone. While I understood why she was upset, I didn't like anyone speaking to Clarissa like that, especially not after what she just went through. Anya. I try to calm her down. We can have a better discussion at home. This is not the time for any of this. She glared at Clarissa, and even Dante looked upset with her. Why did you put your life in danger like that again? He asks her. Clarissa, you should know better than this by now. You're not a child. You should make smarter choices. You're lucky that Damon came in time to get you. I don't think Clarissa is listening to either one of them. Her entire mood changed the second I'd given her the answer she was waiting for. It seems as though she's still thinking about it. "Are you even listening to us?" Anya demands. "That's enough," I roar. I agree that she may not have done the right thing by coming here on her own during the party, but that doesn't take away from the fact that she was almost killed tonight. Give her some time to process everything before you ask her all of these questions. I can feel Clarissa's eyes on me, and I know that if I look at her, I'll see the girl that I gave my heart to a long time ago. The same girl that always looked at me like I was her hero. No girl had ever looked at me like that before I met her. I was a selfish bastard who did everything to see that look on her face. I loved the way she made me feel. I loved doing things just for her. "He's right," Dante says with a sigh. "I'm sorry, Clarissa." He walks over to her and pulls her into his arms. I tried to remind myself that he was my brother and not an enemy trying to take her away from me. "I'm glad you're safe," he tells her right before he finally pulls away. It took me a while to realize that Anya glared at me the entire time. Damn it. I still had to deal with her for walking out of our engagement party. "How could you do this?" she whispered as we started our walk back to the house. "I'm sorry." I apologize. I've been giving out plenty of apologies recently. So far, it hasn't solved any of my problems. "Is that all you have to say to me?" she demands. "It was supposed to be our special night, Damon, and somehow you managed to make it all about Clarissa. Was I supposed just to leave her there to die?" I growl. "If you were in her situation, would you have preferred that I'd left you there to die?" She narrows her eyes. "That's different, and you know it. For starters, I wouldn't have been stupid enough to put myself in a situation like that." "Careful," I warn her. I didn't want to hear a single bad word about Clarissa. I would not allow it. She sighs. "We shouldn't be arguing on such a special day. I just wanted this day to be all about us. I'm so disappointed that I didn't get to enjoy today with you. I was looking forward to finally calling you my fiancé. You have no idea how devastated I am that it was called off because of this." I sigh. "Anya." "No." She stops me. "It's okay. This just made me realize how badly I want to marry you. Let's forget about the engagement party. We don't need to have another one after tonight." I frown. "What are you saying?" "Let's go straight into the wedding," she sings happily. "Let's get married next week. It doesn't even have to be big, as long as I have your last name and live in the same home as you." I stop moving, and so do Clarissa and Dante behind us. Married? Next week? Those were the only words that were spinning in my head over and over again. I slowly turn around to glance at Clarissa and wish I hadn't. The look on her face did something to my heart. Something I would never be able to forget. Never. "Clarissa!" I don't want to believe I've heard her correctly. How could she ask for the wedding to be next week? That was impossible. I could barely survive this engagement night. What would happen on his wedding day? Anya knew what she was doing. At this point, she was intentionally trying to ruin my life, and she was going a bloody good job at it. I had to stop her. I had to do everything in my power to prevent this from happening. There was no doubt in my mind that she was rushing to marry Damon. She knew that I didn't want it to happen. She knew that I was willing to do anything to stop it, and she wouldn't make it easy for me. After today, she was more determined than ever for this wedding to happen. She knew that I was a bigger threat than she initially thought. How could she not care about the engagement party? She was willing to skip it as long as it meant she could quickly marry Damon. This wasn't about marrying him anymore. This was personal. This meant I had even less time to convince Damon to fight for us, instead of letting me go. I couldn't play safe anymore. I had to take all the risks to make Damon mine. Anya kept proving to me that she never loved Dante or Damon. She knew Dante could hear everything she was saying, yet she moved up the wedding while he listened. I could sense his pain for the entire walk back to the house. He didn't bother repeating a word after her announcement. How could she so easily hurt him when all he's ever done was protect her? Dante has always been crazy about her. His eyes have always only been for her. Atticus was interested in Autumn, even if he never knew it until after their marriage, and Damon, I knew where his heart really was. But Dante has always loved Anya and only her. She never deserved him. She never deserved any of them. It bothered me that Damon didn't try once to say no to her. He could have asked for the date to be a later one, but he just left her to do as she pleased, even after what had happened earlier. He was determined to make me forget about him, even though it was clear that his decision wouldn't just hurt me, but him as well. "Where have you been?" Atticus demands when he sees the four of us walking through the gates. "Please don't tell me you were in that forest again, Clarissa," he adds as he takes one look at me. "Have you learned nothing after what happened there in the past?" I bite my lip as he glares at me. I did not want to disappoint anyone, and I didn't want to cause any trouble for them. My emotions always made me act without thinking. I was not proud of it, but I would not change it either. I did what I had to do. I wasn't going to sit down and watch the person that I loved get engaged to an awful woman who did not love him. "I have something important to discuss with everyone," Damon says as he tries to distract Atticus and the others from scolding me. I knew that he intended to protect me yet again. Protecting me was always the one thing that came first for Damon. It came naturally for him. That's why I'm not that surprised by his actions anymore. I wish he could see into my heart. I wish he could feel my emotions. Only then would he realize that he was making the wrong decision. Most guests must have already left since the house was almost empty when I stepped inside. They must have already announced that the engagement party was canceled. "We think that it's possible we are being targeted by witches again," Damon tells our family the second he had everyone in the family room. "Why would you say that?" Atticus demands. "When Clarissa was in the forest, she was trapped by fire. It was surrounding her," he explains. "Fire doesn't just form a perfect circle like that without some kind of interference." I'm happy that he's doing all of the talking for me. I was still shocked after hearing about Anya's decision to move up the wedding. "You were surrounded by fire?" Autumn asks me in horror. "That's awful. Who on earth will want to hurt you?" "She may not be the target," Griffin says. "The target could be one of us or all of us. She was just easy to get to since she was on her own in the middle of the forest while we were all preoccupied with the party. It was the perfect opportunity to strike, and I believe it was only just a warning. They want to scare us. Whoever it is, they want us to be aware of them. They want us to know they're close. It must be a sick game to them." "But still," Atticus cuts in, "it's not like they would have known Clarissa wouldn't have been at the engagement party." "It means that they have eyes on us," Grandfather says. "They've been watching us, waiting for a chance to attack. They weren't expecting Damon to leave the party to find her. We're lucky that she is still alive. Clarissa, it would help if you were more careful from now on. We can't lose you." Everyone gets quiet at his warning. "I'll take Clarissa to her room," Damon says suddenly. He could probably sense that I was still losing my mind over his wedding announcement. "She needs to get some rest. She is still in shock from everything." Autumn hugs me, and so does everyone else after her. Damon and I are silent as he walks me to my room. I don't know what to say. I was not about to congratulate him. He knows that my mood will only worsen after what Anya said. "I'm not going to let you marry her," I blurt out as soon as I enter my room. He's standing by the door looking at me, just looking, waiting. "What did you say?" he finally asks after a few seconds pass. "I said I'm not going to let you marry her," I repeat for his sake. I wanted to make my intentions clear. I wanted him to be prepared because I was not planning on letting him go. Damon's eyes widen in surprise at my words. "Clarissa, why are you marrying someone that doesn't truly love you?" I demand. "It was so easy for her to throw Dante out of her life. What makes you think she wouldn't do the same to you?" It bothered me that Damon was so quickly accepting all of this. He should be fighting back. He should be fighting for us. He sighs and walks into the room. I watch as he gently shuts the door behind him before turning his attention back to me. "This is something that has to be done," he says gently. "I know it's not something you're happy about, but it is my decision." I narrow my eyes. "Why are you doing this? I can tell that you're not happy. I know you better than anyone else, Damon. You're not happy. You're miserable." "Clarissa, please, try to understand," he pleads. "I can't have you acting recklessly again. I can't watch you hurt yourself because of the decisions that I've made. I'm doing all this to protect you, and you're not helping me by walking straight into the danger." My eyes widen. I was right all along. In his twisted way, Damon was protecting me. Did he think that he was somehow protecting me from myself? Was he hoping I would give up on us after he married Anya? "Damon, please don't do this. You're not protecting me by marrying her. You're killing me instead," I exclaim. "You're taking all the joy out of my life by choosing to be with her. I can't stand seeing you with her. Can't you tell what it's doing to me? Isn't it obvious that I'm hurting?" He walks over to me and grabs my shoulders. "This pain is nothing compared to the pain you will feel if anyone ever found out about us. Your life would be a mess. Everyone will judge you. Because I'm a fawn by blood, they will not treat me as badly as they would you. Please try to understand." "I don't care about any of that, Damon," I shout. "I want to be with you. Only you. No one else. Why can't you see how badly I want us to be more than what we are now? I don't want to be your sister. I could never be your sister. It's unfair. I've never wanted anything or anyone as much as I want you. How do you expect me to watch you marry Anya and not do anything about it?" Damon. No words have ever cut deeper than these spoken by Clarissa. It's the first time she's been so clear about her feelings. She's always given little hints through her actions, but it's the first time her words have been this clear. I've always been able to control myself, telling myself that I was wrong, that she meant something else. But this time, it was so clear that I couldn't deny her words. She doesn't realize how happy it makes me to know that I'm the one that she wants. She doesn't realize that I want her too. I've wanted her for so long that it physically hurts to be this close to her and not have her in my arms. I'm tempted to dip my head lower to touch my lips to hers. I'm tempted to nip at her earlobe and suck on the skin behind her ear. I'm tempted to bite her neck and claim what was rightfully mine since the start. Mine. Why have I always been this possessive over her? My possessiveness has only grown over the past few days. I was so possessive over her that I would literally kill anyone that touched her inappropriately. Damn it, I almost killed myself the last time I lost control around her. Did all fawns have the same torture to deal with? Atticus was also supposed to love only Anya, but somehow Autumn could gain his heart without even trying. It was the same with me. I was thought only to have eyes for Anya, but somehow Clarissa is all that I can see. She has always been by my side, and she's someone I trust more than anyone else in this world. Happiness for me meant having her by my side. Nothing could ever feel as good as having her in my arms, close to me, where I could touch and smell her. This only meant that I would be miserable after marrying Anya. I would lose the one person that made me happy. But I would do it all again as long as she got to live a normal life. I couldn't deny my feelings anymore. It was clear as day that I wanted Clarissa and not Anya. I would always care for Anya, and I would always protect her, but I didn't want her in the way that I wanted Clarissa. It was different, but even this fact couldn't change our faith. It was already too late for us. It was too late the moment my family chose her. I couldn't let her see how affected I was by her words. I couldn't let her think that she'd won. If she knew that she was breaking down the walls I'd put up to keep her safe, she would keep pushing. I knew Clarissa. She never stopped fighting unless she felt there was nothing left to fight for. I'm sorry, Clarissa. I apologize even though I knew it would only annoy her. She hates when I apologize to her, and maybe that's partly why I always do it. I don't want to bring her closer to me. I want to push her away. You should get some rest. You've had a long day. This isn't over. She threatens me. I turned away from her, ready to leave before I made another big mistake. If you can marry someone you don't want, I could do the same. She threatens me. I pause midway. Marry someone she didn't want to marry? To get back at me? Was that some sick, twisted revenge? What the fuck? Suddenly, my feet can't move, not even an inch forward. I'm stuck on the ground, shocked by her threat. I never once thought about it. If I married Anya, that meant Clarissa would also one day marry someone else, someone that wasn't me. How the hell was I ever supposed to be okay with that? No man has ever been good enough for Clarissa. She's always been better than everyone around her, in my eyes. How does she always know exactly what to say to pierce my heart? How did she know that it would kill me inside to even think about her with another man? I can hear her footsteps closing in on me. The moment that she appears in front of me, my eyes lifts from the ground to focus on her. Was this a real threat, or was she only saying this to get under my skin? Would she truly marry another man just to hurt me? Would she destroy her life because I was destroying mine to protect her? She wouldn't. She wouldn't dare. Will that make you feel better? She asks me. Would you be happier with me if I found someone else to love? Someone else to kiss and touch? Someone else to hold me? Someone else to make me feel the things that only you make me feel? Would that make you proud, Damon? Stop it. They were just 2 words from me, but they were words that marked my breaking point. They were words torn from my chest. Why? She demands. Why should I stop it? I bite my lip to stop saying something I would regret. I'm sure you'll love that, wouldn't you? She demands. Another man holding me, telling me how much he loves me. You'll love it if he puts a ring on my finger and gives me his last name. You'll love it if he puts his hand. I grab her by her face and pull her closer to me. I said, stop it, I growl. Her lips part slightly, but she's glaring at me with those eyes I've grown to love so much. Eyes that saw straight through me. Eyes that brightened my entire day. Eyes that have somehow grown to hate me. Eyes that I was ashamed to look directly at. If it's this hard for you, by just hearing this, imagine how difficult it would be if it happened for real. Imagine how hard it would be for you if you had to go through the same thing that you're putting me through right now. I knew it would be fug hard. I never said that it would be easy. I knew I would experience more pain than her if she married another man. But there was nothing I could do about it. Why was Clarissa not understanding what I was trying to show her? What else did I have to do for her to understand that this thing between us could end her life for good? What the hell is going on in here? A voice demands. I freeze. It was Atticus. I was so lost in Clarissa that I didn't realize someone had opened the door. I slowly drag my gaze from her face to stare at my brother, who's standing at the doorway. He's looking at the both of us, and I can see thoughts racing through his mind. Clarissa pulls away from me to look at Atticus. Damon was giving me a lecture on my bad behavior. She lies. Unfortunately for him, I'm not going to listen to a single word he's saying to me. Atticus frowns. Why won't you listen to him? Don't tell me you still haven't learned your lesson, Clarissa. What else must happen before you learn to behave yourself? She folds her arms stubbornly. I'll behave when I get what I want. My head snaps up at her words. I knew what she wanted. As much as it thrilled me to know that it was me, it also pained me to know that I couldn't give it to her. Atticus frowns at her words, and now his attention is solely on her. And what do you want? He asks her. I knew Clarissa wasn't crazy enough to tell him the truth, but I was still on high alert. Autumn barges into the room just then. I can ask her that question. She'll faster tell me than tell you. After all, she loves me the most. Clarissa looks relieved to see her. She pushes both of us out of the room so that she can be alone with her. Autumn was good at distracting Atticus, very good at it. Her actions make me believe that she knows about Clarissa and me. Those two have become inseparable ever since Autumn married Atticus. They were closer than Autumn and Anya ever was in the past. I was happy that Clarissa had her in her life. Is there something going on between you and Clarissa that I should know about? Atticus asks me suddenly. I tried to act unbothered by his question, but my head was spinning with the possibility of him knowing that I had feelings for her. It was the last question I was ever expecting to hear from him. I swallow. What would give you that idea? I ask nonchalantly. I have reason to believe that her reckless behavior recently is somehow linked to you, he answers me. So far, it's only when you do something drastic that Clarissa acts out this way. And somehow, you're always the one running after her, just like today. It's also inappropriate for you to be alone in her room like you were just now. He points out. I press my lips tightly together and turn to face him. It's not the first time I've been in a room alone with her. Why is it suddenly a problem for you? He shrugs. Even though Clarissa was adopted, she's still my sister. She may not have the Fawn blood, but she has our name. I want to think that you think of her the same way that I do. However, I've noticed that you're more protective over her than you should be, and she's also a little overprotective over you. I'm beginning to worry. I'm hoping that I'm wrong about this. If not, I know you know the trouble this will cause." My hand tightens into a fist. "I can assure you, brother, nothing weird is happening between us. If you'll excuse me, there is something else that I have to do besides have this conversation with you." He nods and watches me as I walk away. I don't think he believes me. This wasn't good. If Atticus had noticed something, he would keep an eye on us from now on. I had to be more careful than ever now. I had to make sure that Clarissa didn't do anything drastic again. "Where have you been?" Anya demands when she sees me again. It shouldn't take that long to walk Clarissa to her room. Everyone will get the wrong idea about the two of you if you keep doing things like that. I swallow. First Atticus, now her. I couldn't give her any more reasons to believe that Clarissa was the woman in my heart. She already knew that there was someone other than her that I cared deeply about. I promised myself to keep everyone from finding out who that person was. "I'm sorry about tonight. I apologize. I knew how much you were looking forward to it." She sighs and hugs me. "It doesn't matter anymore. I'm happy that we can get married soon and forget all about this day. But this time, I need you to hire someone to monitor Clarissa. She must stay out of danger for us to have a perfect wedding. I'm tired of her reckless behavior." I was also aware that I had to keep an eye on Clarissa, but I wasn't going to hire someone to do the job for me. Anya didn't need to know that. I can't bring myself to wrap my arms around her. I couldn't bring myself to hug her even though I knew that she would soon be my wife. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know if it's the right thing anymore. All I care about is keeping Clarissa safe. That's all that mattered to me, protecting her. Clarissa. 4 days. It was just 4 days before Damon married Anya. 4 days. He was doing the same as before, trying to limit any contact with me. I couldn't believe him. When would he stop running away from me? From us? However, I was also trying to stay away from him, at least for a little, until everything from the fire had died down. Everyone were still a little upset with me, and I didn't want to bring any more attention to myself. Besides, Autumn had warned me that Atticus was beginning to notice that there was something happening between me and Damon. I knew Atticus. I knew what he was capable of doing when he was angry. He always protected me like his little sister, and he would do the same even if it was against Damon. I couldn't do anything that would make him suspect us anymore. But today, I was ready to make my first move. I'd stayed away from Damon long enough. He wouldn't see it coming when I showed him what I wanted to show him for a while now. And that was the one thing I loved the most about my body, the tattoo of his name on my ass. I've always dreamt of the day Damon would see it. I imagined him happy and falling in love with it. I knew there was a chance he would hate it, but I was willing to at least try. I knew that it would have a strong effect on him because I knew Damon well. He already knew that I had a tattoo, but he didn't know that the tattoo was his name. He would finally know the truth today. According to Autumn, everyone was leaving in an hour for a dinner. It was a dinner to celebrate the wedding that was only a few days away. I would pretend to be sick. I knew that everyone would insist that I come, but Autumn would help convince everyone to let me stay at home. I owed her plenty. Autumn was the only reason that Atticus wasn't punching Damon right now. She was doing her best to make him believe that there was nothing going on between us. He has been keeping a close eye on us, and the fact that we were staying away from each other must have convinced him that he was wrong, at least for now. But tonight, I had plenty to do. Damon would be responsible for dropping Anya at her fake home after dinner, and then he would return here. Autumn would distract everyone and make sure that they stay longer for the dinner. She would come up with a good enough excuse. I trusted her. She was good at these things. I don't understand why she does so much for me without expecting anything in return. When Damon returned home, it would just be the two of us. That would give me enough time to show him the tattoo and get a reaction from him. No one would suspect anything when they returned home. Autumn would make sure of it. It would be the first time that Damon and I would be alone in the house together ever since things had gotten heated between us. I was looking forward to it. He had no idea what was coming to him, and I was counting on it. The fact that he wouldn't be prepared for it would work in my favor. I loved catching Damon off guard. I always got the best reactions when he was like that. "Aren't you getting ready?" Atticus asks me when he sees me going into the kitchen. "I can't," I answer him as I cover my mouth. "I've been throwing up since this morning. Hasn't Autumn told you?" He frowns. "You've been sick since this morning and didn't think to call a doctor?" I didn't like lying to him. I didn't like lying to anyone that I cared about, but this was necessary. I didn't want to spoil tonight for anyone. I lie. I thought I would have gotten better in time for the dinner, but I was wrong. Atticus sighs. "Is this another one of your tricks to get out of Anya and Damon's marriage celebrations? If you don't want to go, you can just say that, Clarissa. We will find someone to stay home with you and keep you company." The happiness in your eyes has died down, and I want to know what we can do to bring it back. I hate seeing you like this. I'm tired of sitting back and not doing anything about it. I need you to tell me what the hell is going on around here. I narrow my eyes. Can you not remind me of it every chance that you get? I was a lot more supportive of your relationship with Autumn. Are you forgetting that? If I'm not happy with Anya marrying Damon, I have my reasons. I wasn't happy with your relationship with her either. He quirks a brow at me. I was asking a simple question. Why are you so defensive? I narrow my eyes. I'm not feeling well, I told you that. I don't need to be reminded of something that upsets me. He nods. I won't bring it up again then. I hope you feel better. Should I call for a doctor? No, I tell him. If it gets worse, I will call for a doctor. Can you tell the others for me? I don't want to deal with the many questions everyone would ask me when they find out I'm not going. He nods. I will. Get your rest. I smile and hug him. He hugs me back and lets me return to my room without asking any other questions. I was happy that he would be the one to tell the rest of my family why I wasn't attending the dinner tonight. I knew that Damon would immediately be worried when he heard that I wasn't feeling well. I also knew that he would want to visit me. However, he would refrain from doing so now that he knows Atticus is suspicious about our relationship. We were both trying our best to stay out of each other's lives while everyone was around. I'm not sure if it was easy for Damon, but it was so damn hard for me. I missed him every second of every day. If I was like this before the wedding, I was afraid of what would happen if the wedding actually took place. It would be over for Damon and me. I didn't want to stay in a world where there was no chance of us ever being together. I saw Damon's reaction when I mentioned marrying a man I wasn't in love with, just to prove a point to him. He was pissed at just the idea of it. My words had managed to break through his lies. He was lying to himself to make his plans to marry Anya work. And Anya, she was doing everything possible to keep us apart. Luckily, she would be meeting them at the restaurant. She wouldn't be here to cause a scene after learning that I wouldn't be there. I knew that she would immediately try to stop Damon from coming home once she realized we would end up home alone together. Thankfully, Autumn would make sure that they both believe it wasn't just me at home. "We need to talk," Autumn says as she barges into my room. The urgency in her voice catches my attention immediately. Did something in our plan already fail? I hope not. Everything depended on today. I needed today to completely break through Damon's walls. "What's wrong?" I ask her. "I only just got a chance to speak to the private investigator. Everyone was so busy with the wedding that I took the opportunity to meet him," she explains. "It turns out that Anya does not live in the house she wants us to believe she lives in. She has a completely different home, and someone lives in there with her." My eyes widen in shock. Why would she lie about where she's living? She shrugs her shoulders. "I don't know, but there's definitely something that isn't adding up about this entire thing. Someone who's hiding their true home definitely has plenty more to hide. This is serious. We were right about her all along, Clarissa. Anya is hiding so much more." "Did he give you directions to the place?" I ask her. "Maybe I can go there and have a look while you're at the dinner." "No," Autumn says in a stern tone. "I don't want you going there by yourself. We don't know what mischief Anya has been up to, and we don't know how dangerous she is. We can do it together. Besides, You need to be here when Damon returns." She was right. I didn't want to waste any chances that I had with Damon. After telling me what she'd learned, Autumn refused to give me the address. I think that she doesn't trust me. She knows I'll do something dangerous like I was used to doing. "We're all leaving now," she informs me as I walk her to the door. "I'll try to keep everyone away for as long as possible, but I need you to be alert at all times. Whatever you have planned, make sure it's over by the time we return home. I don't want everyone to catch you with Damon. Things would blow up in our faces if that happens. I already know that Atticus would be pissed when he finds out I've helped you with all of this, but I'm willing to do it because you're like a sister to me. You helped me plenty when I first entered this family. I'm happy to do the same for you." I smile and hug her. "I'll be careful. I promise. I don't want to cause any arguments between you and Atticus. If he ever finds out, I'll make sure that he knows you're not to blame." She smiles. "I'm not worried about Atticus. Even if he's upset with me, it won't be for long." I chuckle. "Of course not. He's too in love with you to be upset with you for long." She laughs and waves goodbye. "Good luck tonight." I breathe a sigh of relief when everyone leaves and it's just me in the house. I expected them to put up more of a fight to insist that I attend the dinner, but Atticus must have convinced them to let me stay. I spend most of the time in the shower, scrubbing my skin from head to toe. If Damon would be seeing me without any clothes, I wanted to make sure that my body was glowing. I know that was the last thing I should be thinking about, but I still wanted to look my best. After getting dressed in a jeans and crop top, I combed through my wet hair and placed some blush on my cheeks. I considered putting lipstick on, but quickly changed my mind. I waited an hour in the living room after Autumn texted me to let me know Damon had left to drop Anya home. I was becoming impatient. Why was he taking this long? I considered changing into something sexier, but I knew if I did, Damon would immediately know that I was up to something the moment that he saw what I had on. Maybe he already knew that I was up to something and was intentionally staying away from home. He knew that if he came home, it would just be the two of us. If he didn't come home in time, that would ruin everything for us. He had to come home. He had to. I was about to call his phone when I heard a door close. My heart jumped in my chest. It was him. He was home. It was just the two of us. Finally, "Clarissa." I walk out of the living room and into the hallway. He's already walking in my direction when he spots me. He looks hesitant and his steps slow down as he nears me. I can see the thoughts racing in his mind as though it's on a screen in front of me. His hands tighten into fists and he's ready fighting for control. I know what he's thinking. I know his concern for me is the only reason he showed up, even after knowing it would be only the two of us in the house. He had to confirm that I was okay, even though he knew there was a high possibility I lied about being sick. That was how much Damon cared about me. "Shouldn't you be in bed resting?" he asked suspiciously as he neared me. His steps are still very slow. He wants to keep as much distance between us as possible. "No," I answer him. "I'm feeling better, well enough to be out of my bed." He nods as his eyes travel to my exposed stomach. Can he tell that I've been preparing for him? His body tenses, and I think it's possible that I was right. He could tell that I had been getting my body ready just for him to see it. He knows now that I was up to something he wouldn't like. He exhaled loudly and took a look behind him. I think he's looking for all of his escape routes. "I'm going to my room then," he tells me. "I'm glad that you're feeling better. If you need anything, you can call me. Don't come to my room." My jaw clenches at his words, but I quickly mask my reaction. I couldn't make him any more suspicious than he already was. I couldn't let him leave like this. I had to act fast. I held my head to pretend that I was getting a headache. Ow. It was the fastest thing I could think of doing to get him to stay. He turns back around at the sound. I didn't get to see his reaction, but I heard his sharp intake of breath. He immediately rushed to my side. It's crazy how quickly he always jumps to protect me. He was someone I could always count on to come to my rescue. "What's wrong?" he asked as he lightly touched my forehead. "I feel dizzy," I whisper. Another lie. I can't seem to stop lying to him recently just to get some time alone with him. I begin to sway on my feet, and Damon wastes no time picking me up into his arms. He walks with me back into the living room and places me on the couch. I was happy to be this near him again. Damon doesn't realize how much I need his closeness. It's almost like his body heat feeds my energy. I'm always the happiest around him. He kneels on the ground and studies me with concern. I'd managed to scare him and convince him all at once. "Should I call you a doctor?" he asks. I can sense his panic. I didn't want him to worry about me when nothing was wrong. I just wanted an excuse to make him stay. It had worked, so now was my time to act. I lean into him and bury my face against his neck. He stops all movement at my actions. It felt so good to be this close to him. I can't resist as I turn my face so that I can easily inhale his scent. He freezes even more than before as his hands lightly grip my waist. "Clarissa," he whispers, "what are you doing? Why do you always smell so good?" I ask. He sighs. "Did you lie to me about feeling dizzy? Was this another one of your tricks to get closer to me?" I don't answer him. Instead, I wrap my arms around his neck and held on tightly. He gently moves his hands to my arms. "Clarissa, did you lie to me?" He repeats. Of course I did. It was obvious. I didn't have to spell it out to him. "Does it matter?" I whisper against his warm skin. My lips accidentally touched his neck while I spoke, and I could feel his body shiver from the light touch. My heart skipped a beat at just the thought of being able to kiss him again. I desperately wanted to touch my lips to his. I desperately wanted to taste him some more. "It does matter," he growls. "We've talked about this already. Atticus already suspects us, and so does Anya. We can't keep this up. It's time that you move on. There's nothing between us, Clarissa. The sooner you realize that, the faster we can move on with our lives." I shook my head against him. "No." I say stubbornly. "I don't want to let go of you. I refuse to stop fighting for us. You can try to lie to yourself about your feelings, but you can't lie to me. I know that you want me just as badly as I want you. I'm tired of doing all of the fighting for us. Why can't you do the same? If we both fight, don't you think we have a better chance of being together?" I can feel his heartbeat increase at my words. "You're wrong." He mutters softly. "I don't want you. I never did. I don't believe you, I insist. You've lied to me before just to get me to stop going after you. You lied to me to protect me, and you're still doing it. I don't care what you say. I know you want me." He inhales sharply. I can feel his composure slipping away. It was almost time to show him the tattoo. "You're my adopted sister," he growls. "I'm supposed to protect you, not lust after you." My eyes widen. Was that just a confession? He runs a hand down his face and tries to pull away from me, but I don't let him go anywhere. I'm not letting him get away that easily tonight. I can feel him losing control. I knew Damon well enough to know when he was losing an inner battle. He was becoming desperate to escape before he did something that would change our lives for good. "Please," he begs. "I need you to let go of me, not for me, but for your own good. You need to let go of me, Clarissa. Stop this before it's too late." I pull away from him to look into his eyes. "Why do you keep pushing me away? You've never been a coward. You've always been a fighter. You've always been the Damon that has always been my hero. He was never someone that chose the easier way out. He was always someone that fought for what he believed in. He was always someone that fought for my happiness. Right now, you're doing the opposite. You're fighting for the wrong things. You're fighting for something that would take all my happiness away." I can tell he's in emotional distress by the look on his face. I know that my words have finally caught up to him, but I also know that it isn't going to be this easy. Even if Damon was aware of what he was doing to me, he was still convinced that he was doing the right thing. I had to find a way to prove to him that he was doing the opposite of what needed to be done. He gently cups my cheeks in his hands, and my eyes widen at the contact. It always feels so much better when he willingly touches me first. Damon was always cautious when touching me, and this was no exception. "I know that you think I'm trying to hurt you. I know that you think I'm not the same as I was before. I know that I'm disappointing you, and I hate doing it to you. You have no idea how much I hate it. But Clarissa, there is no other way," he whispers. I bite my lip angrily. There is always another way. I just had to point him in that direction. I pull away from him. I stood up to be right before him, giving him a good view of my body. He might think he was finally getting through to me, but he was about to get a rude awakening. I wish you would at least try, I whisper, fighting back the tears. When your family adopted me, I never wanted to stay, Damon. I considered running away so many times, but you're the only reason why I stayed. You're the reason I chose to remain. You were my shining light. You were the one that made everything better for me, and not because I thought of you as my brother. My feelings for you have always been different. What I feel for Atticus and the others is so different from what I feel for you. Nothing, and no one is ever going to change that. Clarissa, I know you think that way, but I'm sure you don't understand what you truly feel. He tries to reason with me. You're wrong. I insist. You have no idea what I feel for you. Maybe my words aren't getting through to you, but I have something that might prove how much you mean to me. Just how much you've always meant to me. This isn't some stupid crush that I developed out of nowhere. What I feel for you is strong and so real that it hurts. His jaw clenches, and his gaze softens. I move my hands to the front of my jeans. His eyes follow my movements. I see the moment realization hits his eyes. He knows now that I'm trying to take it off. What are you doing? He asks. His voice was high-pitched. He sees my hands, but he doesn't want to believe that I would do something like that. He's in denial, and I'm not allowing him to recover. He has to see his name on my skin. He has to see how beautiful it looks on me and how proudly I wear it. If things were different, I would have happily shown it off. Unfortunately, I'd had no choice but to hide it. Clarissa, Damon hissed. What are you doing? I don't stop unbuttoning my jeans. He had to know how I truly felt about him, and this was the best way for me to show it to him. Stop that, he growls. I don't listen to him. Instead, I continued to slip the pants down my legs until it was at my feet. Then I slowly turned around so he could have a nice view of my ass. I knew the moment he'd seen what I'd wanted him to. There was a sharp intake of breath, and even though I couldn't see his face, I knew I had the effect I wanted on him. I heard his breathing get louder and felt satisfied. This was what I wanted. This was what I needed to do so long ago. I knew that he could see the tattoo of his name on the exposed skin. It's been hard hiding it all this time. Whenever we went swimming, in a pool, or on the beach, I wore clothes to hide them. He's the first person besides the tattoo artist and Autumn to see it. To really see it. To know whose name was written on my skin. My body is filled with a sudden heat, knowing that he was watching me, watching it. The person responsible for it to begin with finally knew of its existence. Finally, Damon. All the air is suddenly knocked out of my lungs at the sight in front of me, and it was a damn beautiful one. I can't look away even if I want to. My eyes are glued to the spot Clarissa's so eager to show to me. A tattoo of my name. All along, that damn tattoo has haunted me. Every day since I found out that she'd gotten a tattoo on her ass, I haven't been able to sleep because of it. I've never been so desperate and curious to find out something before this. Now I knew what the tattoo was. I knew it wasn't a tattoo of some random guy she liked. It was a tattoo of my name, mine. I've been killing myself over this, and this whole time, it was my name. Damon. It was drawn beautifully on her skin. I didn't think my name could look so beautiful, but I was proven wrong today. I've never loved my name as much as I love it now. I was proud to see it on her. So proud that I felt sick to my stomach to know that something like this could make me this happy. I was a sick bastard for loving this. I was a sick bastard for even entertaining anything with her, knowing that I had to protect her and keep her safe from men like me. What the was she thinking? My name. My name. How did she not see how wrong this was? I know it's wrong, but still, I've never seen anything more sexy in my entire existence. I was losing control. I had no clue how I was still standing here with a dumb look on my face and not covering her ass with my face. She wasn't moving back around. She was intentionally standing there, giving me enough time to take in the ink on her skin. Me. She knew what she was doing. She knew how to tease me, how to make me yearn for her. She was good at it. Since when has Clarissa been this seductive? Has she always been this way? If she'd acted this way with me from the beginning, I wouldn't have been able to last this long. She might as well have tied a chain around my neck and dragged me along. I would have been hers in a second. A tattoo of my name. Damn it. My eyes are still glued to the damn thing. It's like a spell on it, begging me to touch it. How did she manage to hide this for so long? How has no one else seen it yet? Should I start showing it off proudly from now on? She threatens me. Should I go to the beach tomorrow and let everyone have a good look at it? I'm sure that will stir up plenty of drama. You'll have no choice but to postpone the wedding, she says. Everyone will be talking about Damon's little adopted sister and how she's obsessed with him and has a tattoo of his name on her ass. My name will be all over those magazines, and pictures of your name on my ass will be on everyone's phone. I'm sure it will be a lovely topic on everyone's lips. A low growl tore from the back of my throat. I didn't want anyone to see that tattoo. It should be for my eyes only. Mine. Mine alone. I cross the room to her and grab her. I feel her shiver as I lean closer to her ear. Are you insane? You wouldn't dare put your life in danger like that, I growl. You'll keep it hidden as you've done in the past. Don't you dare show that part of yourself to anyone else but me. How will my life be in danger? She demands. The only danger I see is losing you. She finally turned around in my arms to look into my eyes. My hands are itching to grab her ass and pull her body onto mine. I don't want to lose this, she whispers. No one else makes me feel this way, Damon. My body is hot for you. I've never wanted any other man in my entire life. You're all I've ever wanted, the only man that has ever made me feel like I needed him by my side to breathe. Stop it, I growl. Stop saying things like that to me. I was closer than ever to ripping the rest of her clothes off her body and burying my lips on her skin. I ache for you, Damon, she whimpers. If she kept this up, I would lose it in my pants. I wish you would stop pushing me away, she cries. I wish you would finally give in to what we both need. I wish it were that easy. I wish I could pick her up into my arms and announce to the whole world that she was mine. I wish I could take her into my room and fuck her as hard as I wanted. She closed the little distance between us, and I knew she could feel how hard I was for her right now. Forget feeling it. I knew she could see it as well. The bulge in my pants wasn't exactly hard to notice. She rubs her nose along my neck, and I can't help but groan. She was killing me. The front door slams shut, and her eyes widen in surprise. They were back already. Our family was home. I pick her up and pull her behind the thick curtains with me. I can hear footsteps as I cover her mouth with my hand to prevent her from making any noises that could alert them of where we are. What the was I thinking? I almost destroyed everything I was working so hard for. If they hadn't reached home, Clarissa's plan would have worked. I would have taken everything from her, and then I wouldn't have been able to turn back. I closed my eyes in frustration. What the hell was wrong with me? Why did I have no control around her? I almost ruined everything for her. When the footsteps leave the room, I quickly move away from her. I had to put distance between us as fast as possible. I quickly pull her pants back up her body and button them. When everything was how it should be, I quickly storm out of the room. Damon! She calls after me. I don't listen to her. This couldn't happen again. There were only a few days before the wedding. I had to have some control, at least until then. Anya. Who is he working with? I asked Gerard. I'd asked him for a favor to find the person sneaking around my home and trying to find information on me. I asked him to find out without alerting whoever it was. I didn't want to frighten them. I wanted them to think that I had no idea that someone was trying to dig up information about me. Autumn Fawn, he answers me. She hired a private investigator to keep an eye on you. You were right all along. It was someone from the Fawns that wanted to find out more information about you. I narrow my eyes at the name, Autumn. I should have known she still didn't trust me. While everyone else seemed to believe my lies, Autumn and Clarissa didn't. I was sure they were both working together to kick me out of Damon's life. Autumn must still feel threatened by my existence. She was scared that Atticus would one day return to me. I had to be extra careful from now on. I couldn't give the private investigator anything that would seem suspicious to them. I had to feed them the wrong information from now on. But by now, They knew I lived somewhere different than I claimed. It meant that I had to move, but I could use this to my advantage. Autumn or Clarissa will visit my home, hoping to find more clues. I could set a trap for them. I'd already moved everything from the house, but I could have someone there that could trap them inside the house. I knew now that fire was an easy way to get rid of Clarissa after what happened in the forest. This time, Damon won't be around to save her, but if Autumn was there, that might make things a bit difficult. She would have the power to escape. I just had to find a way to keep Autumn busy. I'm sure I would be able to come up with something. "Thank you for your help," I whisper as I lean into him for a kiss. He kisses me back passionately. "I hope this isn't the only way you plan to repay me." I push him out of the house. "I have plenty of ways of paying you back. Don't worry, I'll come to your place tomorrow." It's the one thing he asked me. I could easily give it to him. I have never been loyal to Damon. After he confessed that there was another woman in his heart, I knew that it had to be none other than Clarissa. I was surprised that he even admitted the truth to me. If I had any feelings at all for him, I would have been hurt, but I was far from it. Gerard smiles, and I watch him leave. I roll my eyes as soon as I close the door. When I turn around, I'm surprised to see Willow. She watches me with curiosity. "Is he someone that you're dating?" she asks. Recently, she's been very curious about my dating life, especially after she saw me with Dante. I think she wants to know if I have a relationship with him or someone else. Something tells me she hoped I was with Gerard and not Dante. After all, my sister hasn't gotten over her crush on Dante. I felt sick whenever I thought about it. I would never allow her to be with a fawn, especially not one I was close to. I shook my head. "No, just someone that's doing me a favor." "Why do I feel like you're hiding plenty from me?" she whispers. "Mother always kept me away from everything as well. It feels like you're both scared of how I would react." "I'm not a delicate flower. I can handle the truth." I sigh. "Do not worry. This doesn't concern you, and it never will. All you need to know is that I'm the one that will take care of you from now on. Whatever I'm doing, it's all for you and Mother. That's all that I care about now." She holds her head suddenly, and her lips turn blue. I freeze. This was not good. Please tell me this wasn't happen again. "Anya." She croaks as she falls to the ground. I rush to her side and pull her into my arms on the floor. "What's wrong?" I demand as I touch her cheek. Her skin was freezing like ice. It was even colder, if that was even possible. Since our mother's death, this has been happening to her regularly. I wasn't sure what was causing it. I pull her towards the warmer and wrap her body in a blanket. "I am so cold," she cries. I knew she was. I could feel it just by holding on to her. I hated seeing her like this and being helpless. I wanted to fix this. I wanted to heal her. "Shh," I whisper. "It's okay. It will get better in a few minutes. I promise." I didn't like this. Willow was the only family I had left. I had to protect her. It's what my mother would have wanted. It's what I want, to protect my sister. I'm scared. She was always the delicate one, the weak one between the two of us. She was kind and honest, everything that I wasn't. She was the opposite of me. That's probably why my mother always protected her more. She knew that Willow could get hurt easily because of her pure heart. "I know," I tell her as I hold her in my arms. "Nothing is going to happen to you. You don't need to be scared as long as I am by your side. I will fix everything. I promise you." I meant those words. I was trying everything to find the cure. But first, I needed to know what disease this was. I wasn't sure what was happening to her. My mother never told me that she was suffering from any illness. However, I've always known how protective she was of her. Maybe she knew something that she never told me about Willow. My mother was always good at keeping secrets, but I wish she had told me the truth about this one. How could I help her if I knew nothing about it, to begin with? I don't think my mother expected to die. She thought that her plan to destroy the fawns would have worked. Instead, she's gone, and they're still happy as ever. We'd accomplished nothing. I couldn't fail as she had done. I had to finish what she had started. I had people on my side, witches that wanted to avenge my mother's death. I was lucky that there were people that liked her out there. They were willing to fight with me. I just had to find the right opportunity. After a few minutes of holding Willow close to me, her lips turn back to their normal shade of red. She opens her eyes then, and I can tell it's over, at least for now. "Why does this keep happening to me?" she cries. "Do you think I'm going to die?" "Nobody is going to die," I scold her. "I'll get the money to find you a good doctor. When Damon marries me, I'll also have access to his money. I will use that money to help my sister. I didn't have anything to help her right now. I've never heard of anything similar to what she's been experiencing, but I'm sure that there was a doctor out there that could help her. Money could fix her. I was sure of it. As long as I had the funds, I would find a doctor to run tests on her." In our world, money and power are everything, and the Fawns had both. I wasn't only marrying Damon to destroy Clarissa's life, I was doing it for my sister as well. I needed this. I needed his money. "Are you in love with that man I saw you with?" she asks suddenly. It was a shock to me that it would be the first question that she'd ask me after what had just happened. I paused to look at her. "What man?" "The one you were kissing." I inhale sharply. "He isn't important." I couldn't believe she'd brought him up again. "And what about the other one?" she asks. "The handsome one." I already knew she was talking about Dante. She's brought him up a few times since she first saw him. I didn't like how obsessed she seemed to be with him. What could I do to get her to forget about him? Something about how her eyes lighting up whenever we talk about him bothers me. I also feel like it's not the first time my sister has seen him. "I'm not in love with anyone," I answer her. "Enough questions about love. It makes me sick. Love is for the weak, and I'm not weak." The only person I've ever truly wanted was Atticus, and that asshole broke my heart when he chose Autumn. I wasn't allowing myself to get hurt by another man again. This time it was my turn to do the hurting. I was done getting hurt. Clarissa. It was the day before the wedding. I tried everything to make him change his mind. Everything. I thought after he saw the tattoo, he would realize that my feelings for him weren't just a silly crush. Now I knew that I was wrong. There was nothing that I could do to stop Damon from marrying Anya. He was determined to destroy his life so that I would give up on us. If he wanted me to do it, why did he have to take things so far? Marrying Anya was the worst thing that he could possibly do to me to force me to stop. How could he? Why wouldn't he fight for me? Why did he want to marry someone he didn't love just to keep me away? I knew he wanted me and was scared of others judging me, but how could he use that as an excuse to separate us? It was not a good enough reason. If he wanted to, he could find a way to make this work. If he really wanted me, he would have tried much harder than this. I was tired of being nice to him. This time, I had to be completely honest. I had to let him know just how much he was hurting me. I had to give him a piece of my mind. I walked out of my room and down the stairs, where the decorations were screaming at me to leave this place. I couldn't stand all of the pictures with them. In every single one of those pictures, Damon looked unhappy. Yet, he wanted me to believe this was the best decision for both of us. "Look who's finally out of her room." Griffin teases me. I try my best to fake a smile as I hit his shoulder. "Shut up," I mumble. He laughs. "Come on, sis. Let's see a smile on your face for a change. Not that fake one, a real one. I miss seeing it." "Don't bother trying," Atticus says as he joins us. "She doesn't know how to smile anymore. I wish she could tell us what's truly bothering her." I try not to show any emotions. I know he's trying to find more information on Damon and me. I loved Atticus, but I didn't trust him enough to tell him my real feelings. I knew he would be pissed if he found out the truth. He already looked angry that night he saw Damon and me in the room alone. "Will you stop picking on her?" Autumn asks Atticus as she comes to my rescue yet again. "What makes you think that I'm picking on her?" he asks her. "Aren't you supposed to be on my side?" I looked around the room for Damon without making it obvious. Anya has been around more than I wanted to see her. If this marriage happened, I would have to see her much more than this. I don't think I'll be able to survive seeing her face everywhere I go. "What are we talking about?" she asks as she enters the room. "Why is everyone just standing here and not helping?" Griffin sighs and rubs the back of his neck. "I don't know how I will stand being around her for every family occasion." He whispers in a low growl. At least, I wasn't the only one to think this way. I was sure that every person in this room felt the same way. They were all putting up with Anya because of Damon and Dante. If it wasn't for them, she would have been out of our home in a flash. "Where's my husband?" Anya asks as she looks around for him. I bit my lip angrily. They weren't even married yet. Why was she calling him her husband? "Damon hasn't been home since this morning," Atticus answers her. "I think he's in a bad mood." "Of course he isn't." She disagrees. "He's happy, very happy. Who wouldn't be happy when their marriage is a few hours away?" We all get silent at her question. Anya walks over to me then with a threatening look as she whispers, "I know what you've been up to. That house is off limits. Stay away from it." My eyes widen at her threat. She knew. Autumn and I didn't get a chance to look at the house. Anya had us busy the past day. Actually, she had Autumn and the others very busy. I refused to take part in any of this. Everyone else was only taking part because they cared about Damon. Why would she choose today to threaten me about the house? The day before her marriage. It's almost like she wanted me to mention it to the others. I watch her like a hawk as she walks out of the room, forcing the others to help her. "What did she say to you?" Autumn asks me. I didn't want to drag Autumn into this anymore. If I told her, she would stop me from investigating independently. This was probably my last chance to stop this wedding. If I found the proof I needed, it would be enough to postpone the wedding, at least until Anya told us the truth. "It's nothing. I lie. She's just trying to rub it in that she's marrying Damon. That's all. I think she knows Damon likes you," Autumn tells me. "Just like she knew Atticus wanted me and not her. She knew it even before I did. She uses that to her advantage. Don't let her get to you." "It doesn't change anything," I whisper. "Damon is still going to marry her." Autumn squeezes my hand. "I thought he would have stopped the wedding when he saw that tattoo. I'm sorry that it didn't work." "It's okay," I sigh. "At least I know that I tried my best, unlike him." She hugs me, and it's at that moment that Damon walks into the room and sees us. I press my lips tightly together and fight against the tears as I glare at him. He turns back around and walks straight out of the room. "I have to go," I tell Autumn. This was my chance to talk to him before he disappeared again for the rest of the day. I wouldn't have another opportunity. He's already walking out of the house and into the garage when I spot him. I ran after him, making sure that no one was following us. When he jumps into his Jeep, I jump into the passenger's side. His eyes widen when he sees me. "What are you doing here, Clarissa?" he asks as he looks around us. "Clarissa, I'm going with you wherever you're going," I answer him. He runs a hand down his face before exhaling loudly. "You can't," he finally tells me. I was testing his patience, but I didn't care. I don't care what happens after today. I was going to tell him everything I had to, and this time I was doing it for myself, not for him or anyone else. For me. "I need to talk to you," I insist. "Clarissa, we've already said everything we needed to. What else do you have to say?" He asks. "You saw what happened when everyone returned from the dinner. We almost got caught, and we had to hide. If being together means that we must hide from everyone else, how can it be the right thing to do?" "Why are you like this?" I whisper, unable to hide the pain from my voice. "You claim to care about me, but you don't. If you did, you wouldn't put me through all this pain. You love to hurt me. That's what makes you happy. Hurting me brings you joy." I know my words this time have managed to anger him. "How can you say that?" he growls. "Everything that I do is for you. Every thing. I never think about anyone else as much as I think about you. Every day of my life, I'm thinking of ways to keep you safe. How can you tell me that I enjoy hurting you?" "You're lying," I hiss. "This is all just some sick game to you, Damon. You don't care about me. Stop fooling yourself." His jaw clenches, and he starts the Jeep before I can say anything else. "What are you doing?" I demand. He leans over me and puts my seatbelt on. I tried not to inhale his scent like I usually love doing. He says nothing as he leans back and mashes down on the accelerator. "Where the hell are you going?" I demand. "Are you taking me to see where you plan on taking Anya on your honeymoon?" I was being sarcastic, but it was only making him angrier. He's not the only one. I was fuming inside. There were so many emotions that I wanted to get out of my system. "Are we running away?" I try again. His hands tighten on the steering wheel, and he pulls the Jeep onto a lonely dirt road. He doesn't stop until he's far away from the main road. "Tell me," he says as the Jeep comes to a stop. "Tell me everything that you want to. Get it all out, every single emotion, every single thought, everything that's hurting you. Tell me it all right now." "What?" I ask, confused. He didn't want to hear me a minute ago. What had changed his mind? "I'm a horrible asshole who doesn't care about you, am I not?" He asks me. "So say it. Tell me everything. Hate me all you want. I'm marrying someone else. I'm hurting you. I'm taking your happiness away. I'm a heartless fool whose only aim is to hurt you, and I want you to tell me that." I narrow my eyes. What was this? A chance for me to get all of my emotions out so that he could marry Anya without any guilt? "I can't believe you," I shout. "You're right. You are a heartless asshole. You fooled me. You made me fall in love with your kind words and actions. All this time, you knew there was never any chance for us. You used me. You used me to fill your ego, and now you're disposing of me just like Anya disposed of Dante like he was nothing. You're no different from her. The two of you deserve each other." He winced at my words, and I was happy that he did. I wanted to hurt him just like he was hurting me. "I can't believe I ever had feelings for someone like you. You're not the Damon I thought I knew. You're a stranger. My Damon would never hurt me like this." He nods. "You're right. I'm not your Damon." He was throwing salt in my wounds intentionally. He was trying to make me hate him, and he was doing an excellent job at it. I unbuckle the seatbelt and grab him by his shirt. His eyes are cold as he stares at me, waiting for me to say something, waiting for me to hate him. He'd hardened his heart to let me go. He'd made up his mind. I can't stop the tears this time. I knew this wedding was happening now. I was in denial all along. This wasn't just a wedding. This was Damon leaving me for good, abandoning me like my family in the past did to me, the family I never knew. He wasn't any different from them. I always thought that he would never hurt me, but I was so wrong. He was just as bad as they were, even worse. "I love you," I scream as I pound my fists against his chest. "I love you, I love you, I love you." Damon lets me hit him without trying to intervene. He lets me hurt him. He closes his eyes as I continue to confess my love for him, even though I know it wouldn't make him change his mind. "You're a coward," I shout. "A coward, Damon." He finally opens his eyes, and I gasp at the tears I see in them. He grabs my neck and covers my mouth with his. It's the first time Damon has kissed me without me starting it first. I was caught off guard. He kisses me with urgency and hunger like it's the last time. And it was the last time. He knows it just as much as I did. He grabs my waist and pulls me on top of him. I gasp as he pushes his tongue into my mouth and gently cups my cheeks. Even though I'm angry, I can't stop wrapping my arms around his neck and rubbing our bodies closer together. His hands are all over my body, touching as much of me as he possibly could, and I'm doing the same. I can't stop touching him like I'm never going to see him again. After what seems like an hour of us kissing, he finally pulls away from me. His lips are red and swollen, and I know that mine are the same. He touches his forehead to mine as his finger gently rubs my left cheek. "Clarissa," he groans. "It shouldn't be this hard for us to let go. It's the last thing I want to happen, but it's the only option. I want to keep you safe. That's all. Safe." There he goes again, pushing me away after kissing the life out of me. I angrily shove him away and jump back into the passenger side. "Stop lying to yourself," I shout. "You're not trying to protect me. You're trying to protect yourself. You're so scared that you finally have feelings for someone, true feelings, not those you had for Anya. You're terrified of it, and you're running from those feelings. You're running from us." No, he disagrees. That's not true. I want to protect you. I promise that's the only reason I'm not doing what you want me to. You're not protecting me. I feel hurt, Damon. I can never be happy if you marry Anya tomorrow. You're going to destroy my life. Can't you see that? I demand. Are you so blind that you can't see what you're doing to me? You're hurting me. Damn it. You're taking away the one thing in my life that brings me happiness. You're the only thing that completes me, and you're marrying someone else. He doesn't say anything, and it angers me further. How could he kiss me so passionately and then let me go a second later? How was he able to let go of me so easily? It was so easy for him, but for me, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. If you marry her, I will never forgive you, I threatened him. I will never speak to you again if you marry that woman. I don't care what you'll have to say to me after. I will cut all ties with you, and I will leave that house. I will run away. You're the only reason I chose to stay in the past. I told you that already. After you betray me, I will have no reason to stay. You're bluffing. He says in horror, you wouldn't do that. You care about everyone in that house, and you know it. You won't leave just because I hurt you. You won't do something so stupid. Take me back home, I shout. Take me back home. Clarissa, I turned my body away from him so that I was looking out of the window. I refused to speak to him again after today. He'd made his decision, and now I was making mine. I was giving him what he wanted. However, I was still not going to let this wedding take place. Anya wasn't the person she wanted everyone to think that she was. I had to prove to Damon and everyone else that she was evil. I had to go to that house tomorrow when everyone was busy with the wedding. I will find out everything I needed to in that house. I knew it. I was finally going to figure out who Anya truly was. The wedding. Clarissa. It was finally here. The day I had hoped would never reach was finally here. Damon would marry Anya today, unless I found the proof I needed to show everyone she was a liar. It was not easy getting the address from Autumn without her finding out what I was doing, but I finally had it, and I was going there before the wedding ceremony started. But before that, I wanted to see Damon one last time. I wasn't sure if I would be able to return in time. I wasn't sure if he would be a married man by the time I got back. I had no idea how long any of this would take. I didn't plan on speaking to him, but I wanted him to have one last good look at me. I wanted him to see what he was letting go of. You look absolutely beautiful. Autumn compliments me when she sees me in the long black dress she chose for me to wear. Thank you, I tell her. And so do you. She holds my hand and walks with me down the stairs. I know she's trying to give me the strength to attend the wedding. I decided to make everyone think that I was attending the wedding without them having to force me. I felt it was the best way to ensure less attention on me. I spot Damon at the top of the stairs. He's already dressed in his suit, and he looks handsome just standing there. He looks exactly the way I dreamt of him looking while getting married to me. Anya was getting to live my dream, and she didn't even deserve it. His eyes finally fall on me, and his body goes entirely still. Griffin is talking to him, but he isn't paying any attention to him. His eyes are glued to mine. I could feel the tears slowly rolling down my cheeks. I didn't think anything could break my heart as much as this did. Autumn stops moving when she realizes what's happening. I know that anyone can see us. I know that it's possible Autumn isn't the only one watching us right now. Neither of us was moving. The tears weren't helping our situation either. If Atticus came out and saw this, his assumptions would be confirmed. Autumn tugs at my arm, and I know it's time for me to let go. Damon may not have realized it yet, but his actions today have severely damaged the beautiful relationship that we once shared. Things could never be the same between us after today, even if the wedding doesn't happen. I would never be able to forgive him for hurting me. I gave him many opportunities to choose me. I gave him many opportunities to fight for us. I threw myself at home multiple times, and each time he pushed me away. You got this, Autumn whispers as she hands me a handkerchief. Thank you, I whisper as I wipe my tears. I still couldn't believe that this was happening. I couldn't wait for it all to be over. If seeing Damon in his suit was this hard for me to watch, how difficult would it be to see Anya in her wedding dress walking toward him? Thankfully, I wouldn't be here to see any of that. Do you need me to get you anything? Autumn asks me gently. No, you've done plenty for me already, I assure her. I waited for everyone to get busy with something Anya assigned for them. Autumn was the last to go. Anya was using every opportunity to get every member of the family busy. It was surprising that she wasn't trying to get me to do something like take pictures of her and Damon. I was sure she was waiting for the right opportunity to torture me. I looked around me and noticed that there was no one next to me that could see me leaving. This was it. Now was my time to leave. I was sure this time that no one would realize that I was gone. Damon would be too busy with his wedding to notice I was missing. Autumn would also be busy. I had to leave now, and I had to act fast before anything got a chance to start. Damon, what the hell was I doing with my life? Why the fuck was this so hard to do? I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought protecting Clarissa from herself and even from me would be the best decision. Now I knew how wrong I'd been all along. She was right. Everything she said to me yesterday was true. I was a coward for not fighting for her. I was a coward for choosing to marry Anya instead of ending things with her. I was an asshole for hurting her because of my poor decisions. I blamed everything on protecting her, but maybe she was right about me being scared. Perhaps my feelings for her terrified me to the point that I kept pushing her away without even realizing it. This day had reached much faster than I expected it to. Seeing the tears in Clarissa's eyes earlier had broken my heart. It had completely left me shattered inside. I was doing this to protect her, but it only dawned on me that I was hurting her more than ever by marrying Anya. She may never be able to forgive me after today. If I married Anya, I would not have the Clarissa that I was crazy about in my life anymore. My actions would destroy the joy in her heart. I would lose the one person I never wanted to lose. No matter how much I wanted to protect her, I couldn't break her heart anymore to do it. I had to find another way. I couldn't marry Anya. I had to find a way to end this. I had to find a way to stop this wedding. I had to, Damon. This was all my fault. I waited till my wedding day to realize that it was the wrong decision. I knew everyone would be pissed at me after today. My family would be frustrated after already asking me numerous times to rethink my decision. Dante would be angry with me for breaking Anya's heart. And Anya, she would surely hate me for ending things with her on such an important day. But Clarissa, she would be the only one that would be happy with my decision, and that was all I cared about. I wanted her to be happy. I didn't want to hurt her anymore. I would find another way to make things work between us. There had to be another solution to our situation. I was done pushing her away. I was done doing the opposite of what she wanted from me. Is the groom ready for his big day? Atticus asks as he taps my shoulder. My jaw clenches. I had to tell him the truth. I knew there was a big possibility that he would suspect my decision had something to do with Clarissa. But I didn't care, not after the look on her face earlier. I didn't care if Atticus called me out on my actions. I didn't care if Anya called me the worst names possible. I couldn't marry her. I can't marry her, I tell him. I can't marry Anya. Atticus looks at me like I've just lost my mind. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Exactly what I said. I'm not marrying her. I answer him. You were ready to marry her just a few minutes ago. You're the one that put your suit on. No one forced you to do this. All of the guests have arrived and they're expecting to see a wedding. Damon, we've always let you make your own decisions, but this is unacceptable. It's not just about you anymore. When have you ever been this irresponsible? I feel like I barely know you anymore. I didn't have time to explain to him. I had to find Anya. I had to tell her that this wedding couldn't happen. She may already be in her wedding dress. I never wanted to hurt her. I knew Atticus did the same thing to her, but what I'm doing is much worse. I'm breaking her heart on her wedding day. I should have listened to everyone else around me. I should have given this wedding more thought. I rushed into it thinking that I was protecting Clarissa, and instead I'd done the opposite. But before that, I had to meet Clarissa. I had to tell her that this wedding was not going to happen. I had to see the relief on her face. I was ready to face whatever punishment she had for me after putting her through that torture, to begin with. I was prepared for everything as long as it meant I didn't lose her. Damon? Atticus calls after me as I rush out of the room. I race towards Clarissa's room. I don't even bother to knock as I barge into it. I take a look around. I'm shocked to find the room completely empty. The last place I saw her was at the bottom of the stairs with Autumn. I storm out of the room and down the stairs. I had to find Autumn. Atticus was right behind me, and I knew that this wasn't how I wanted him to see me. I just proclaimed that I wasn't going to marry Anya, and minutes later, I was barging into Clarissa's room and running down the stairs like a hysterical person. I bounce into Griffin while searching the crowd. "What's wrong?" he asks when he sees the look on my face. "I need to speak to Clarissa," I answer him. "Where is she?" He shrugs his shoulders. "I've been too busy to keep an eye on her." My jaw clenches at his response. Someone was always supposed to keep an eye on Clarissa. Whenever someone wasn't paying attention to her, she always did something drastic, especially at a time like this. A cold shiver ran down my spine as I remembered her threat yesterday. She threatened to leave for good. I thought that she was bluffing. I thought that it was a harmless threat. Now, I wasn't so sure about that. "I need to find her," I say as panic begins to sink in. Atticus catches up to me then, and he's angrier than before. He grabs my shoulder. "What the f*** is going on? You can't just walk out on your wedding day like this without giving a proper explanation." I run a hand down my face. "I can't do it. I don't love Anya the way that I thought I did. My feelings for her are not the same as before. I can't marry her." I can't tell him the entire truth. I can't tell him I can't marry her because she wasn't the woman in my heart. I couldn't tell him that Clarissa was the only woman I craved, the only woman I needed. Atticus looks shocked by my words. Of course, he would be. Just yesterday, I was sure I was doing the right thing. Just yesterday, everyone believed that I loved Anya. They thought I was marrying her because I wanted to. No one knew the real reason behind my actions. "Anya just arrived," he informs me. "I'm not a big fan of her, but I think she at least deserves the truth. You need to properly explain to her why this wedding will not be taking place. It's the right thing to do. In the meantime, I will try to find Clarissa. There's no telling what trouble she's up to now." I knew he was right. I knew I had to speak to Anya, but I had this strange, unsettling feeling in my chest. I was desperate to see Clarissa. I hated the way I left things between us this morning. I had to fix it. I had to wipe her tears and make everything better for her, just like I've always done in the past. Clarissa, empty. The house was completely empty. Anya must have cleared it after discovering we had hired someone to monitor her. It's why she told me to stay away from her home. She was only trying to provoke me. If I had told anyone about it, they would have thought I was making everything up to stop the wedding. Maybe that's what she wanted all along. She wanted to make me look like a fool. She wanted to play the victim once more. I dropped myself onto the floor and buried my face in my hands. This was my last chance to stop the wedding. It was my last chance to prevent Damon from ruining his life for me. I couldn't believe it was all over. Anya had played me. She did this to distract me from the wedding. She knew I would go to the house as a last resort. She knew I would try to find evidence. How could I have been so stupid? I slowly lift my head from my hands after realizing something I should have noticed sooner. What was that scent? The sound? I've heard it before in the forest. Fire. Where was it coming from? I picked myself off the ground and walked out of the room, only to realize that all the exits were on fire. A chill runs down my spine as I soon realize Anya's true plan. She wanted to kill me in this house. It wasn't just a distraction. She wanted me dead. She was much worse than we initially thought. Why would she want to kill me? To get me out of Damon's life for good? I ran to another room, and to my horror, the windows were already covered with flames. After searching the entire house, it was confirmed that there was no place for me to escape. I could feel the heat pouncing on my skin, threatening to hurt me. I blinked once, then twice. I couldn't believe this was happening to me. No one knew that I was here except Anya. No one would even realize that I was missing, and even if they did, they wouldn't know where to search for me. I was in trouble, and this time, I was the only one that could save myself. There would be no Damon coming to my rescue. The flames were getting closer and closer, closing in on me. I screamed as a piece of wood dropped onto the floor next to me. I moved back to the first room I was in. It was the safest place in the house, at least for now. I look around, trying to figure out how to get out of there alive. I had to be missing something. I could try shifting into my wolf, but recently it hasn't been that easy, and even if I did, I would still be trapped. I didn't have much time to think about anything. I had to move. I hold my arm in pain when the flames finally catch up to me. I had to suck it up. It wouldn't be the only burn to get out of this place. Even if I got out alive, what proof would I have to blame Anya for trying to kill me? I let out a scream of frustration. I have to find something. Anything to prove who Anya indeed was. I had to. I was running out of time. I closed my eyes as I felt something move inside of me. It was a strange feeling, unlike anything I'd ever felt before. Suddenly, there was a piercing scream, and it took me a few seconds to realize that the sound was coming from me. I didn't understand why I was screaming. All I knew was that my heart was in pain. I opened my eyes, and the most fascinating yet shocking thing happened next. The fire formed a pathway before me, showing me the way. It doesn't take me long to start to move forward. I walked between it, and for some strange reason, I completely trusted it, even though it could kill me. I followed the path until I stopped before a strange, untouched painting on the wall. Why was it pointing me to this painting? I slowly lifted it off the wall and watched as a picture fell from behind it. I catch it before it can touch the ground. It took me a minute to realize what I was holding in my hands, but the moment I did, the ground shook beneath my feet. It was her, the witch. One picture, just one picture, was staring me straight in the eye. A picture that had only been freed because of the fire that was set to trap me inside this house. I didn't have time to comprehend what was happening. The flames were howling in my ear, reminding me it was time to go. I rush out of the house, following the path before the fire can burn it entirely down to the ground. I clutched the picture to my chest as I watched the house burn to the ground before my eyes. It was falling apart right in front of me. I bring the picture closer to my eyes, taking a good look at it for a second time. I still couldn't believe this. It's a picture of Anya with the witch that had tried to kill me. She was hugging her tightly with another girl next to them. This meant that they knew each other all along. Everything that we once thought was a lie. Anya wasn't under a spell. She was working with the witch. But who was she to her? Judging by this picture, it's possible that she was her mom or an aunt. Was this why she was so desperate to marry Damon? Was she slowly plotting her revenge? The wedding would take place in less than an hour, and I was still in front of this burning house with the proof I needed to bring Anya down. I had to save Damon from making the biggest mistake of his life. I wouldn't let her get away with this. She was a psychopathic liar, and I had to show this proof to everyone. "Who are you?" a strange voice asks. I spun around to find the young girl from the picture standing before me. What was happening? What was she doing here? If she didn't know who I was, it meant that Anya had kept her horrible secrets from her. This girl knew nothing about me. I take a step towards her. Before I answer you, can you please answer just one question of mine? Something about the look in her eyes made me believe that she was a kind person. She would tell me the truth. She looks hesitant at first, but eventually nods her head. Who is this woman? I ask her as I point to Anya in the picture. She takes one look at the picture and then back at me. She doesn't hesitate as she says, "That's Anya, my sister." Her sister? I saw no resemblance between the two of them. I would never think that they were siblings. I tried to remain calm, and I didn't want to frighten the girl. I needed more answers from her. And who's the woman next to her? She frowns. That's our mother, but why are you asking so many questions? And what happened to our home? Anya told me we had to move, but I forgot to take this picture of us with me. I hid it behind a painting as a joke once. Anya told me to remove everything that meant a lot to us from the house. I returned for it, but was shocked to see the house on fire, and then I saw you running out of it. Who are you? Their mother. Their mother. I couldn't believe it. Anya's mother was the witch that had tried to kill me. This was insane,